So, yeah, welcome. Yeah, thanks to Matrix for sending me a key of World in Flames. Probably one of the most complex, most biggest World War II global war games in existence. I don't know what there is existing that could rival it. War in the Pacific, perhaps war in the East, but this here is covering the entire war with a ton of aspects. The manual is 720 pages. 720 pages. Hyperlinked. You can get the game on Matrix and Slytherin. I misread, yeah. They're working currently on an AI, which is quite a challenging project, if you can imagine, considering all the aspects of this game, including naval warfare, aerial warfare, ground and trade, and many others. But I misread the changelog. It seems like the AI is still in closed beta, only available to select testers. Would be of course great to check it out, even if it is not that perfect. I mean, people that are interested in this game, I guess they can figure it out. Also considering the complexity of this game, I don't expect here some chess computer AI. But yeah, right now it is the solitaire, hot seat or multiplayer internet. Try to locate a playthrough even of the board game version. To this very day there's not a single one in existence on YouTube. I'm pretty sure also not on Twitch. Yeah. The game, YouTube and Twitch don't even know the game. They don't even have it in the list, so I had to pick War in the Pacific. It's the next biggest game that comes to my mind. So the soundtrack you hear in the background. There's two dudes who tried to play it, one both in solitaire. One made 30 videos, the other made 88 videos, they both didn't make it past 1940. Yeah? And that is, 1940 is, I mean, where things are still, let's say, grounded, yeah? I mean, imagine then what is happening when Japan, everybody's entering the Pacific War, is going full blown, yeah? The Eastern Front is exploding. Yeah, but you can also select the smaller scenarios. So that's probably good for learning, yeah. Oh yeah, about tutorials, wait, did I skip the screen? Yeah, I think so. You know, completely left in the air. I didn't check them out, I might check them out. Here you will see no gameplay in this video, yeah. But there is tutorials. And of course that 800 page manual, but I first want to familiarize myself with the interface and everything. That's how I do it, yeah. So I don't know even if I will keep the video up. Oh, why is it so warm? 13 degrees, what? That is the World in Flames here, man. My PC is roaring up because of the complexity. So there's some basic picture and text tutorials and some interactive tutorials which basically bring you into the game. So yeah, but no gameplay here. I wrote it specifically in the title. But yeah, it would be cool if somebody who knows that game, if you see that video, you want to join me and perhaps help me a bit to figure it out. But once you have an AI, or perhaps also without AI, I might do something like a guided versus play, yeah, PvP, player versus player. I heard the rules look complex. And there's a ton, but once you figure stuff out, it is not that crazy. Not sure, at least that's what I read online. It is not like Advanced Quad Leader, which has 900 pages, I think, so far. But you need to apply, I don't know, 20 tables per action, yeah. So I will now experiment simply a bit to get through the phases to get a first idea. There's simply a tinkering out video. But yeah, you can also play isolated Pacific War, Eastern Front, France. And also start a war at, see for example, is entire Europe. Yeah, that's basically here your war in the East. So you have all this involvement by the US and etc. So the Western Front is represented, but not the Pacific, it seems. Exactly, expands in the first one. Oh no, by including full world map with all major powers. So that is if you want to skip all this stuff and start when it gets hot here. This attack on the Soviet Union. It's basically Global War 41. Okay. That is also Global War, I guess, yeah. With German stalling in end 41. And so on, yeah. That is here the ultra big scenario. Oh, Jimmy. Quick check if my chat is working. Oh. So yeah, if you want to get a YouTube start off, be the first who makes a full playthrough on World in Flames. But yeah, I tell you out of experience, first hand, of course, with wargaming it is rather hard to make any if other than living your passion. You will definitely not become a rich man. But still, I mean, that dude had 30-minute videos. He made 20 of them. So what is it? 6 hours? And he was already in mid 40. I think that is not that crazy. At least not that crazy like Combat. I think Combat is the most crazy game on the time investment, which is nuts because it is simulating tactical warfare on individual level. Yeah. I think that is also my problem with that game. It is simulating basically a squad, yeah. Like the TV series. It is the lowest of the lowest. You, I don't know, in command of 6 to 8 dudes. Playing that game takes, especially campaign. There was one dude, I think he made a campaign, I think it was 200 hours. Something like that, man. Let me check. That's crazy, man. That game is also nuts. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of that. You can also simply overdo it. Yeah. Just curious. I need to find out. Right? Combat YouTube. But they're making now another game on the Eastern Front. I see. So people bought it. But yeah, I remember talking to some people here on Discord who bought it. But yeah, the campaign is. So, yeah, I think that is the guy. Yeah? So here's basically always. No, there was somebody else. Guess that guy played but never finished, which I can understand. But Combat. Tony Holt, man, is that him? It's a 5 minute, no, 8 videos, okay. No, man, there was some dude. There's sometimes video on YouTube hard to find, eh? He has a very small channel with a couple of subscribers. That dude had the most epic playlist I've ever seen, or one of the most epic playlists. But that is YouTube for you, yeah. You enter it specifically. What's not this guy? Ah, here! Nah, that's not. So all those guys, they show it, they make some episodes and then call it a day. I hope he didn't delete it, but it could be simply buried in YouTube. It's so bad. You enter it specifically as showing you a ton of crap because that makes more money. Somebody had a full playlist on that thing going on. Should I mix it up with Field of Fire? No. I know it's not a part, but here that is not a serious video, yeah? So give me a break. Is it gone? Man, I wanted to watch that one day. Damn it, man. Yeah. Wargaming. Yeah, Star Wars. Combat, campaign, compass, playthrough. Shows me here in Star Wars videos. Because more clicks. 1.7 million clicks. It's the problem, it's so overcrowded, but the search engines are so bad. Why is he showing me... What is here indicating I want to see Star Wars? No. I've also, when I had my channel, there were people that specifically entered the video title of my video. They couldn't find it. Or on the 5th page. It's so annoying, but yeah, that is how it nowadays works. Bully out those small ones and maximize the max videos to save money. Halo, sure. Combat, campaign, compass, playthrough. Show me Halo. Man, where's the combat is completely gone here from that list. 5 videos, okay. Wait, that was volume 2, yeah? That is missing? Something happened here, I don't know. Look at that! 12 years ago. That is a TV series, yeah. But even that would be more appropriate. Look at, I entered it almost specifically, it's now showing me. Wasn't that Tony Hoft? No, right? Wasn't that you man pulling it off? Tony Holt. No, not really. Played a couple of turns and called it a day. As most. There was only one guy I remember. Was it a campaign or was he playing Fields of Fire? Could be, I don't know. Nah, could be, yeah. But I think there was one dude. He had a playlist of, I think, 200 hours. YouTube banned him for supporting terrorist organizations. He had to delete his channel. It's gone, but perhaps it is somewhere. I was a play. Ah, wait. That dude, he is just very special one. I know that video is not about anything else, but yeah, that dude has it unlisted. Why are you doing that, man? You have a treasure. Stop unlisting. That was Combat, Volume 2, Board Game Geek. Of course, man. That dude. There's those special dudes, man. They're painting some Mona Lisa and then they're hiding it. Why is he doing that? I mean, it's simply, sorry, that is stupid, man. You did a good job, people want to see that. Stop hiding it on Board Game Geek somewhere. No one needs that to be unlisted. Oh, this music's so loud. We will return, but I want to simply check out because it is one of the biggest playlists. Was another dude who made a War in the Pacific complete play? Was it complete? Yeah, not really, because usually that game is becoming boring somewhere 43 or whatever, 44. Where are all those videos? They must be on YouTube or what? There. What's it here? Yeah. Why are they not showing up here? Dad vs. Son. Is it unlisted? No. Probably because of the name. Part 1.03 Normandy Mission 3. It's not that easy to find, yeah. Oh, that's cool, eh? Dad vs. Son. Yeah. Yeah, this combat game is crazy. I find it also too crazy, man. I mean, complexity doesn't equal. If people like it, yeah, I'm also quite... But the campaign is completely nuts, sorry. And again, we're simulating individuals. You are in charge of 6 dudes. Playing that game takes more time than real time. Yeah. It is... the campaign is nuts. That's why I want to show you the playlist. And that's why I find it crazy. You know, in War in the Pacific, you're responsible for the entire Pacific War. Yeah, War in the East, entire Eastern Front. Here, World in Flames, you're responsible for the entire global war. Here, you're responsible for 6 dudes. Yeah, life is complicated, true. But there was one dude, he made it. He made Volume 2, he played the entire Volume 2 and it was, I think, 200 hours. 200 hours, yeah, that is... Perhaps even more, I don't know. I don't know, I mean, those dudes 3 years ago, no, that was not that old. He didn't delete it. I think it was some dude, he hid it somewhere. You could only find this playlist via a link from Board Game Geek, and I find it silly because he's probably the only one who survived the playthrough. Yeah, that must be that guy, right? No, here. Yeah, okay, Dad vs. Son. Look at that, that is 213 videos. 200, wait, let's see, mission... Ah, okay, mission 21. What, mission 53? Ah, that is, I guess, which mission is called. Okay. Every video is 1 hour. So those dudes playing, and I think they are not done. Not entirely a hour. You could say around 200 hours, and they are still not done. But they play it both, they're crazy. I mean, on the other hand, can you even play that game co-op or versus? I don't think so, it's a solitaire game. There was another guy here, Cry Havoc, yeah. 350 videos. Exactly, where is that dude? Cry Havoc Combat. If you now tell me that YouTube is me not showing that, then really... Then that is the best example how crappy YouTube is, yeah. I think he has it unlisted. For whatever reason. I need a link. That is it, dude. I want to simply see the playlist again, man. That guy was he played it. He finished it. I think the only alive person who finished it. Those dudes seem to be also pretty close. 865 videos on the Vasar Mojo? No way. Greg Amos, I know he's making really beautiful Vasar Mojos. No way, is that... but it's several playthroughs, right? Yeah, I can't tell, is that a campaign? It's probably all combat mission. But 800 videos, man. But that tells you. But people, you see, some people may go crazy about that game. Here, campaign, okay. So he's starting with 200 videos and then... Yeah, he's simply... Man, those titles... Yeah, I have no problem watching VISL. Yeah, you're talking about, yeah. For me, it is simply the time investment is so crazy. You see those dudes, they have those 10 PDFs open and then they check for 2 hours all those checks. Yeah, that is too hardcore. And then also some, I don't know, some platoon attack Or here's some airborne deployment in Normandy, takes 4 hours until they have their shoots deployed, you know what I mean? Until the units are on the map. That's why I say ASL would be the best war game ever. If somebody, I mean, we have Tigers in the Hunt, but it's basically a starter kit that is one piece of the pie. The rules are there and nobody needs to make it new. All those people that always come with their new super ideas say only screw it up. Advanced Squad Leader has 40 years of experience by real officers, real soldiers that fought in that war. And you don't need to come here with from your California and think you can do it better. The rules are written down in those 900 pages of Bible. The Bible of Tactical Warfare World War II. But working with that is simply so complex. If one action requires you to call 10 tables, yeah. If that somebody simply would put those rules into a PC game, and so that the PC basically gets that done, it would be the best tactical war game ever for World War II. And people would go crazy, man. They would all those ASL conversions. That would be my dream game, but I don't know if it will ever happen. It wouldn't even cost that much. I wouldn't even care for graphics. Could be looking like Tigers in the Hunt. I mean, it's basically what ASL looks like. Yeah. Never cared for this. I also think, for me, Tigers in the Hunt looks more beautiful than Second Front with its cartoony graphics. Despite being 3D, I don't care. Or all those other games like not Company of Heroes, Conflict of Heroes, Battle Academy. Man, 800, that is okay, yeah? I don't know how much he played the campaign. It's also that, man, those Jimmies are really good with titles. Combat 2, Attack 11, 1, 1940. Yeah, okay. Those titles are really brutal hard, sorry. That is, but there was another dude. Here, that I think is this guy. He has 350 on volume 2. I would suggest, yeah, where is the, who has the links? Here's the link. It isn't clear to me that more tables, more realistic. Yeah, I mean, there's some, to some extent, yes, but there's limitations where then it doesn't make fun anymore. Yeah, it's the same, and that's where video game or digital processing would help dramatically. Yeah, imagine you would play those, you could put those 900 pages of ASL into a video game. And you could also visualize it, yeah. If you, for example, attack that unit on this hex, yeah, you get a pop-up, -10 because of concealment, -5 because of visibility, you know what I mean. You don't need to consult those tables anymore. There's simply a limit of board games. Same for those bomber games. They are beautiful, detailed, but I simply, sorry, after playing one mission, spending 4 hours on one mission, and 90% I'm looking at tables and rolling. That is simply the limitations of board gaming. At some point, it is becoming too much work. And, I mean, complexity, more tables can mean more realism. The question is, do you want to roll 30 tables in order to check if you can make the maneuver into that bush? Yeah? I guess not. And if you want that, exactly. Yeah, computers are made to make life easier, so that we don't need to process everything on our own or write it down or whatever. It's exactly why computers exist, and that is a big advantage. Also for war games, yeah. If you play something like Combat Mission, if a combat mission would be a board game, yeah, it might be brutal with all those line of sight checks. Yeah. If Combat Mission would be now here those tabletop, war games where you use your ruler and everything, it would take probably, already Combat Mission takes hours to play, but if you would translate that into a tabletop war game, it would probably take 10 times longer, yeah? If not more, and would require a lot of rule overhead to learn, which in the game is done for you. You can figure out the specifics, but you can also use your brain. If I fire at units that are sitting in a building, those guys might have high cover. Or if I run towards a building with a machine gun, I might probably die. You don't need to check for the table and how you will die, but you will die. Yeah, and you can apply common sense without knowing all rules. If you play the tabletop advanced squad leader, you can't play by common sense. You need to check those tables. I play a ton of war games. I don't know what is the exact chance if I fire in Tigers in the Hunt at a unit. I simply use common sense. If I fire 200 meters at dudes who are in the open, running over the open road, I can expect, if it is a good simulation, that those guys will get pinned or even receive casualties. And that is exactly what happens. If I would play Tigers in the Hunt in a board game, I can't simply say, yeah, those guys will get casualties. And my opponent will say, yeah, okay, check, oh, please show me all those tables. Yeah? And you need to go spend 20 minutes to go through all those tables. I don't know exactly rule. I'm even not a fan of being a rule fetishist. I think that can also destroy a lot in war games, you know. Wait, I will attack this will give me a +1 on this roll, that's give me a -1 on this roll. That has nothing to do with reality. That's why I like to play games like Combat Mission or Tigers in Hunt without even knowing the rules specifically. That, I don't know, you have 20% less chance if you fire after 5, whatever. Yeah? You playing board games in 25? Yeah, could be. The crunch is, of course, could be that's for some is attractive. But yeah, I think that that combat is for me, I think, the pinnacle of that. Having 5-6 single dudes inspired by a TV series, and I mean the campaign. I made a video before I deleted the channel on the campaign rules alone. It was crazy. That's why I want to see the playlist, but they talk about it, but it must be here somewhere. Come on, let's find it. Why is he? I mean, he's recommending it, saying it is not. You can't find it on YouTube, and then he leaves. Best video say not searchable on YouTube. El Caro. Who is? And he leaves. Here, that dude has it. Bei Cheng, man, 5 stars. Yeah, here. Oh shit, I'm not looked in, man. Man, I mean, you make a YouTube, you make a forum thread, say, hey man, that guy has a big playlist, he's great, look at him. By the way, you can't find it. Goodbye. Man, some people are so sorry, man. Karl. Yeah, exactly, always those cars, yeah. Hey, what? Here, that is our guy, we found him. 1100 views. 357 videos. Yeah, okay, it's not always over horror. I think he made the campaign, yeah? No, I mean, not searchable is a manual setting by the YouTube channel. I don't know why he did that. I find it stupid. I mean, he did a great job. It would be such a big help for many to watch him playing. It would help the game. It would help the players. And for some reason he decided, oh, I don't want to that people find my playthrough. I mean, you can only find it if you check the forums on Board Game Geek. And find it in the last thing from some dude. Which is 99% will never find it. I find it simply totally... He took the work to record it. And then they put it into the basement, hid it somewhere in the corner for you to find. I don't know, I don't see the logic behind that. Yeah, but that is stupid. I mean, he's also explaining what he's doing, I think, and whatever, so this was... It's crazy, man. I mean, he did a good job, and then hiding it for the community or what, for those dudes that... I don't know. What is the reason why I hide it from the public on YouTube? It's complete. It's the opposite. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not my decision. Yeah, okay, but I mean, is there any good reason to do it? I mean, it sounds simply completely reasonable. Yeah. On the other hand, yeah. Okay, that is good. Yeah, you got me. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, but that is because I had beef with YouTube. Yeah, they basically lifetime banned that channel based on AI. I didn't want it to, and they started to downsample videos for me. That is what they do with those smaller channels in order to save disk space or server space. They start to, from smaller YouTubers, they start to downsample the quality. So I couldn't also save the videos, or they were already destroyed basically because I never could store so many videos. I would have here had to store 20 hard drives. Sure, I could have done that. But I've never expected that YouTube will change so much. In 2018, YouTube was a complete different thing, not like the Gestapo nowadays. And then at some point, you are simply have a pride, and that you say then F yourselves, and because those videos still attract YouTube users, so they're profiting. Of course, not that big. I never had a big channel, yeah. But and you are attached to this stuff. I had to, because it was, I asked several times, they even screwed me over, said you need to do this and that, then your channel is restored. I did that. And it was AI, there was not even a human involved, it was a force hit. But if you, there's simply the policy that they don't give a damn, at least if you're not some bigger dude. But you're right, I mean, that was a good counter. You never know the real reasons, yeah. A lot of people think the same. They say, why did you do it? That is so stupid. Yeah, we also don't know the real reasons of this person putting it on private. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. You got me. Yeah, here. That is a wait, is he talking there? Yeah, I think so. That is the craziest playlist ever. Exactly, yeah, you say it. That is for me. I felt like a hostage. I couldn't move my videos. I tried everything, I tell you. I tried to save those videos, and I saw how those videos in front of me got crumbled slowly. I checked some of those older videos, they looked like out of the toaster. Yeah. And some YouTube automated response system is telling you, F off, you nobody. Getting hit by AI for some rule infractions that absolutely make no sense. Like here's the Sun or whatever man shows Russian soldiers getting blown up into pieces. I play a war game with some wrong faction, get wrecked, yeah? Probably some dude saw my channel, was thinking, that is pretty sure there's some right-winger or whatever, he's playing war games, only bad people play war games. I tell you, there's also a lot of political stuff going on behind the scenes. That's also why you have everybody sitting there as if they would be as if they are sitting in here World War II Germany or in some dictatorship. All YouTubers talking, trying to avoid words or specific topics because they already see the laser pointer on their forehead. And everybody, that's also why everybody's talking so bad about YouTube. Because every day, if they don't like you, or if somebody of the creator team perhaps doesn't like you, he just needs to press a switch and you are gone. You are gone. I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. I had only a small channel. Now imagine you are some bigger channel, yeah? And some dude simply decides to pull the trigger on you, yeah? Exactly, yeah? Especially the smaller YouTubers, you are dirt for them, yeah? Those smaller YouTubers only cost money. Smaller YouTubers only cost money. That's also why they start to reduce this. Twitch is also now starting. Smaller Twitchers have to delete their content. I was expecting that, and in YouTube, I'm pretty sure they will also at some point start that older content might get deleted or that quality I uploaded HD or even 2K footage of here that Jutland. Yeah, nobody had Jutland footage. It was very unique. Yeah? I had some games that nobody else had, and then I returned to those videos and they looked like 480p. You couldn't even make out what is going on in those videos. And that is somehow also very hurting. If you upload those videos and then they get corrupted in front of your eyes, but you're still attached to it. You can't leave it, and then sometimes. Especially me, I'm also of course sometimes irrational, yeah. But then sometimes at one day you simply say, press down that button, fuck it, and see simply what happens after that. Get out of your comfort zone, even if it is a stupid decision, yeah. But there was simply said, and that channel was lifetime banned from monetization, yeah, because AI decided that. It was not a single person was involved, because it is not even worth for them to get a single person out there for a small channel like that. So explain it.
Loader 21.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah, that is crazy, yeah? And that is you basically play single dudes, yeah? And the campaign is nuts, man. Whoever wrote that. 200. I think I made perhaps 357 videos. See this sometimes smaller videos, yeah? But I come around something like, I don't know, 200 hours. Especially he is a trained player. I think it was his second attempt or something, so you of course need to add some time if you do it the first time. Good, let's check now. You, by the way, don't know how to play World in Flames. Okay. Yeah, let's check the big scenario, but it will be mostly clicky around, yeah, because I'm just checking out the mojo they provided me. Promise us, I mean, I might check out some of those first turn on YouTube of the board game, should already help me. But I will wait for the AI. I mean, if there's no AI yet accessible for the public. I mean, they're already working on it for several years. It's really hard to explain, but they really screwed me over several times. Basically, like, they gave you a hook again. Ah, you're right, come on, here, do that and everything will be good again. Ah, now wait, we talked to that department again, it's not right, you're still banned. Ah, wait, now do that, it will, everything will be fine. Man, really, if I would see those people, I would punch them, yeah. This was simply humiliating. And I tried everything. I couldn't move those videos. I once, what was it called? This other, not Kick. There was another, Rumble, yeah. Rumble had introduced a function that you can move your YouTube videos slowly over. I immediately used that. And then YouTube, bam. No, you can't do that. So they also specifically hold people hostage. And downloading your videos is only possible in lower quality. You can only download the video in lower quality while it's existing in a higher quality. Perhaps in order to reduce bandwidth, I don't know. Or hold you hostage, yeah. Sure, you can say, yeah, okay, you should have stored them from the beginning. Man, I had 3,000 videos or whatever, yeah. Several hours simply recording my gaming sessions. I wasn't thinking that much. I wasn't, everybody who knew my channel, I was not here somehow invested, and it was for me more a hobby. Simply press play and roll. Everything live. Yeah, exactly. That would of course worked if I would have. But the problem is I often use simply the stream. I mean, I start at some point to stream. It's very comfortable. I mean, while streaming, you can also record, of course, yeah. And those videos in certain quality, they can become quite big. I mean, if you stream here at HD or 2K for several hours, that is, we talk here really about a ton of gigabyte. Sure, I could have done that. Yeah, I could have bought several terabyte hard drives. But I always kept the work heap low, and I was simply in the beginning, everything was great. 2018, man, YouTube was a different place. Yeah, I think it was somehow at 2021, 22 they started to get really hardcore. It's really Gestapo style with new rules and here infraction here, that infraction, new rules here, this, that, and then they started to ban people. Yeah, I think GunTubers also now getting banned, and several banning several groups where you could make out it goes into some certain political direction. where people started to talk like, yeah, and the person unlived himself then, or the person was unlived, and people getting their videos banned because they showed a broken submarine, and the AI algorithm was thinking it is a wounded person or whatever, and they had to delete that part or to cover that part so they could monetize. That's why you see every second video is blurred, everything is beeped out. I watch sometimes World War II documentaries. People start even to beep out names of, for example, Nazi politicians like Goebbels. They're beeping them out. So I say, okay, nice documentary. Sure, they never existed, those people. Yeah. Let's don't mention the names of those people who committed war crimes. This will definitely help the world make it definitely a better place. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it self-inflicted, yeah, but you see how those people, how everybody is simply have become a shitty place, man. I mean, you see, you're still using YouTube, but I don't care for that anymore that much. And that's why everybody is on private donations or something. Come to my Patreon and do this or that, because they're all like they are sitting in an ejection seat, waiting for getting ejected. Especially if you randomly or barely somewhere in a topic that could be considered problematic, like playing video war games, yeah. And if you then play, I don't know, some scenario like a Palestina conflict or some Syria conflict, you know, I liked always to play real scenarios close to the reality, but it's still a war game, it's not reality. And I was always very sensitive to that, yeah, pretty sure. We forget everything we don't like, we create a utopia, yeah. A brave new world, yeah. Consume and STFU, yeah. Exactly. A brave new world. People always mention 1984. I think A Brave New World is a better example. I was yeah, and we rolling to 1984. No, 1984 was really that state basically obviously inflicted it. No, I think it's more like A Brave New World. People are consuming, living in a drug dream, while everything around them is changed. Okay, wait. Unit deployment, okay. We are currently what? US. There's already some presets. Yeah, I think the sex stuff was also not really I'm a fan of. I mean it more in I think what the book stands for, it doesn't matter if they take those drugs and conduct in those sex orgies or whatever it was. I can't remember it anymore. It was a bit definitely a word book from, it's if you take it too literary or too specific, but I mean the idea, the general idea, I think is better than or more pliable than 84, yeah, nowadays. That you put basically people into some sort of state, they consume, don't ask questions. Yeah, you don't make them poor, you don't enslave them, yeah. Because in 84 it looks like everybody is unhappy, living in this unhappy totalitarian regime. That is not really what is happening, yeah? But you put people into a state of non-ending consumption, doesn't matter. Drugs can be everything. Video games can be drugs, TV series can be drugs, the internet, Reddit, Twitter are drugs, you know what I mean? The sex stuff, that's how I see it. That sex, what they really specifically present there is not really that interesting for me, but it's more this, that those people are basically consumed. They simply are so busy with consumption that keeps them in somewhat happy but not too happy state. While the government or whoever can do whatever they want and change stuff around them. While those people are busy with their smartphones, with the internet, with games, movies, and buying new stuff on Amazon. That's what I think is a good, And watching loud videos with crazy thumbnails and influencers screaming at them. Okay. That's basically some presets. Oh, okay, cool. So that is the West Coast. Yeah, we'll play soon here a bit Stronghold. I mean that here, you can't take that serious. Yeah, that's absolutely a joke here. That's no more a discussion, but I enjoy it. It's not a serious video. Perhaps I will stream how I'm cooking. Yeah? That's for optional rules. Okay. I need to deploy it myself. Yeah, this convoy stuff, I heard that is a bit nasty to figure out in this game. You have here convoy needs, which then of course the enemy can intercept with aircraft or submarines. I need to watch those first playthroughs of the... because then, if you get a basic idea, I think then you can probably play it somewhat. As I heard that often, the game looks extremely complicated, but if you at least grasp the basics, it is again, yeah, it's not comparable to something like Advanced Squad Leader, where you get your 50. Okay, Jimmy, I'm attacking your tank. Get those 50 tables ready. Jimmy, I'm firing with my puck at your tank. Get those 50 tables ready, man. 50 tables of great. I don't know, is it better to keep them in, yeah, whatever, deploy whatever you have. Just want to see, go through the phases, of course, here, super pro tutorial what I'm doing here. Another airport. Here the entire map. I wonder how many hexes it has. I think there's only the game is the most hexes is this thing we talked once about that is this desert World War II desert here African theater, yeah. ATO game. But this year also has quite a ton of hexes. I wonder if really that Grigsby really try to pull off this war in the east plus war in the west. But they're still in Lake Pacific. Gee, who wants to play that, man? It's the real audience for that. I mean, how big is the real map? What big of table you need? Strategic command, yeah, strategic command is quite a good. Or what I also like is the decisive campaigns series, if you know that. It's usually on. Yeah, that game is not cheap now. I mean, I'm not sure if it goes on sales or whatever, yeah, but I think it is the most expensive game on Matrix, in the Matrix catalog. True, yeah. Yeah, but it's a problem. If you have only a couple of Tonys buying it, and that is here probably the most niche of the nichest. Never seen any footage of that, or is there any footage on YouTube? I think there's some presentation by Matrix, yeah. Okay, wait, what is now going on? Setup, yeah, I'm done. Another? No, I think there's not really. Is there any other game that is £76? I've seen a full package, but a single base game or something, I think it's I mean, I tested the entire Matrix catalog out, so I still had the channel, and I think it was the most expensive one. Wow, good that I found the button there. Watch me, do I need to... Oh. Okay. I think you only want to enter the war, right? I mean, the US also didn't enter the war yet. Yeah. All countries, man. France, yeah. Good, Soviet Union. Yeah, Lithuania is still not occupied, right? Yeah. Poland, yeah, it's before Poland. Okay. There's even, you can even combine, I saw on YouTube, you can combine World in Flames with some political game. I don't know how that works. You can make it even bigger, but I don't think that is, I don't know if that is included here. I don't know how that plays. Be really cool to have the AI. I think you could also, perhaps you could then also watch what the AI is doing. For me also, I mean, sure, I think with a game with this complexity, you can't never expect an AI that will, without giving the AI some crazy bonuses. I mean, those people always say, oh, the AI receives bonuses, it's so unfair. Yeah, yeah. Let's play an operational war game. One-to-one AI, that AI will fail hard. Is that here submarines? Yeah, but why they're showing me here Japan now? Because Vladivostok. Exactly, yeah, that is why also in most games you are pitched against an AI defense. So it takes a lot, or it takes really good AI plans, handmade AI plans, like for example in a combat mission game. But for operational war game that is really hard because there's some infinite possibilities that you can't work with handmade plans that much. War in the Pacific is a good example for that. The AI operates a lot with handmade plans, and it can also completely bug out. If you, for example, capture something which they didn't expect. I mean, there's even sometimes in the forums recommendations like don't go for that island or whatever before that date because otherwise the AI bugs out as they want to send transports or whatever and they can't, and the entire system is falling apart. War in the Pacific is also, the AI was always a brutal problem, but still, considering what game they made and the Pacific Theater being one of the most challenging ones to simulate for an AI, or in a game in general, because of its so complicated and logistics and force maneuver. Oh, that's a good example. because it was a highly mobile war with people, everything driving around, capturing islands. Then later, yeah, when Japan was basically already going towards a strategic defeat, yeah, then they of course were simply sitting there and hoping they can inflict enough casualties on every soil they can defend. But the first years were units flying around everywhere, shipping around. But still crazy what they put. But they still make AI mods to this very day. But you can never compete with a human, especially in those operation games. Tactical, okay, yeah, you can work here with handmade plans. Operational, very difficult, especially in a bigger theater. Is that transport? Been trying to learn these games, but struggling. I come from playing 4X games. I mean 4X games like Stellaris and Hearts of Iron. Yeah, I mean this game here is, I guess, I mean the manual is 700 pages. Probably not the best war game to start out with. You see, I'm also only pressing around here. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just checking the engine. Just making here some laid-back stream. But there's some war games there. Decisive campaigns I find pretty good. They are so fun, like, oh, here. Advanced Tactics. Advanced Tactics, which got recently updated. Pretty good entry games for operational warfare. There's not that much to learn in those games. There's not that many, 5 million counters which you have to handle, or 5,000 actions. I must say, I'm also not a fan of those counter monsters, and it's also defying as we talked before, more counters doesn't mean more realistic, or more, because nobody's commanding like that. Nobody was commanding every single battalion and could, okay, when that or every single regiment. I think War in the East goes down to what? What was War in the East? Core level or regiment level, right? So I think that's too much. And you are in command of everything and can time perfectly everything. Never happen in reality. Yeah, I played decisive campaigns, Blitzkrieg versus a friend. I've played a ton of Shadow Empires, so I knew the engine. Yeah, if you can handle Shadow of Empires, then you're already advanced. I mean, a lot of wargamers struggle with Shadow of Empires. Which is a great game. Yeah, I'm waiting for the next DLC here, Republic. We'll definitely then jump in. I never did a full playthrough, always somehow dropped out. But that's already quite a complex game. With the entire supply rules and everything. So you are already basically advanced. You will also figure out most of those war games, minus some of those crazy monsters like War in the East or War in the Pacific. But yeah, even I would struggle with those because I find them simply too much. But for example, in the same or in a similar engine, Ardennes, decisive campaigns, Ardennes offensive. However, it is a bit more complex because they decided to go down to, I don't know what, company, battalion level. I was not really a fan of that. In contrast to Blitz and Fall Blau. Yeah. Where it is usually on what? Division level, right? Quixby in Flames, yeah. And the side campaigns Barbarossa is also cool, yeah, especially because of the story, super unique story module. Unfortunately, the developer left in, who made that RPG module really beautiful. If I would play if I would be forced now to play an operational wargame, I would play Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa and Shadow Empire. Those two are currently on top of my list. But I also requested now finally here the Crusader game. I want to check it out. Stipe already owns it. Oh, what is that? Italy? Okay. Man, it's already setup is for me too much. My brain is already going numb. It's too much for me on Sunday. Stipe, do you know how to play World in Flames? Is anybody knowing how to play that game? Yeah. Would be great if somebody knows that. Ah, okay. Join in Discord. I could even perhaps request a second copy. Because unfortunately AI is still not public. I was thinking the AI is public. But I like the visuals. I mean, it's of course classic, but I guess that is, I don't know, is that a remap from the board game? I only played, what is it called, Axis versus Allies, but that here is a complete different beast. Can already tell. But on the other hand, we are playing here what with HQs, it seems, very high organization. But you can also, there's an optional rule that you can play with divisions. Then it basically becomes decisive campaigns. No, this is not a Gary Grigsby game. This is the PC version of the World in Flames board game, which is one of the very popular and one of the most complex board games in existence, yeah? Of the World War II Global. It's the only PC version of it. Yeah, I also never played it. Neither on table or... The soundtrack, I'm just playing the soundtrack from should I listen to a music soundtrack? Oh, didn't notice. Band, man, YouTube. So I like the War in the Pacific soundtrack. Yeah, we are currently working here with army groups. That is rather easy. But you can also use the optional rule, and then I think everything goes down division. And there must be quite a ton of counters. I don't know how that later looks. I guess you will receive smaller units, because otherwise it would be too big. Alpini here, invade France. Kennst du einen kleinen Soundtrack vom Steiner? Ja. That I could listen in a loop. Man, I need to watch the movie again, but with some booze. I need to have some, but I always get so sleepy when I drink. I'm becoming old, man. I need to get some 2 free beer, man, and then Steiner, watching Steiner in the Sunday evening. Yeah. The good old times. Where Steiner, man, dude is looking like 50, 60 or whatever. Man, he is coming back to the here hospital, and first thing he's doing is getting completely boosted and gets the most beautiful nurse. Yeah. It's okay, man. Steiner, I mean, but I can understand, man. Steiner is really hard, man. So I could also not resist him. And he just, man, oh man, I need to get back to my boys. No, please, stay here, marry me and make me a lot of babies. Nah, I need to get back to the Eastern Front. What my man can't do without me. My microphone is sometimes triggered by the by my air ventilation. Is that do you hear anything there? No, on your end. Something like wind or whatever, because I don't have that plush on top. Ah, okay, cool. So, what is next done here with Italy? So this is the setup phase here for all countries. But again, yeah, there's also scenarios like Barbarossa. I might, well, it would be great to have an AI, man, that would be cool. I mean, Barbarossa I could perhaps even figure out. So for Barbarossa I have an idea how the forces were deployed. Yeah, but here, Pacific, Africa and everything, that is for me rather China. Yeah. Yes, know nothing about those Tonys. Simply civilization style, man. Block all towns. Call it a day. Hong Kong is British. Nah, that's basically a... Are they already in a war in between, or is it, are they... How the hell do you keep track of this in real life? You mean a board game, or you mean in real warfare? I guess board game you mean. How many people normally play this? 2 people. Axis and allies. China is considered, yeah, I guess allies, yeah. I mean, probably you can also play it with more players, yeah. Minimum 2 people. But you can of course also, I guess, go up to, if you want to, I don't know, what, 8 or something. Everybody takes one country, yeah. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, there's not a single full playthrough on YouTube. And on those playthroughs on YouTube are also only dudes that play themselves. Because either their opponents died or they couldn't find anyone. Before they finished filming, man, they died from it. But yes, I mean, the game is popular, at least among the old breed, yeah. The last samurai of wargaming, yeah. No, it's sold well. Yeah? It's sold in 10 different editions or whatever, and it is also quite expensive. I think the full edition with all bells and whistles costs several $100. Because it's such a huge game, and you need to get a own apartment for it, yeah, for the table. Probably, man. I don't want to know how big that board is. And then, I don't know, by accident, man, your kid comes down and throws everything over. Nah, I would always say you need to make photo documentation. This is simply too dangerous, man. If that board flies over, man, this is tragic. Yeah, Japan already with China, but when did the confrontation between nationalist China and democratic China started? Was it after World War II, or wasn't it already during World War II? That's what I was wondering. Who is currently in charge of Hong Kong? Is it? Yeah, exactly. Because Hong Kong, I remember there was this incident where Britain got thrown out of Hong Kong. But I can't remember who was it. I mean, was this also this movie about where they had all to flee from Hong Kong? Also, with this incident with this warship, right? I mean, for some time it was a British colony, yeah? Or for a long time. Somebody is currently owning it here. Who is owning it? Commonwealth. Ah, yeah, okay. None. Oh, okay. Yeah, crazy. It's a forgotten war here, man. This frontline is so underrepresented, and it costs millions, and it's also some of the most bestialic warfare. some of the most sinister war crimes ever. So absurd. No, there should be more movies about that. Is it now? Ah, nationalist. Wait, what was that here? Nationalist, and that is... Yeah, exactly. What today is Taiwan, okay. And who is in control of what? That is Communist China, okay, wait, and that is here... But... I wonder who is fighting, who is in charge of those factions if you play 2-player. Was one of the China factions aligned with the Axis and the other with the Allies? I don't know, I have absolutely no clue. Okay, let's place the units. I guess so, right? I mean, otherwise you can't play it. Where are they sitting? Where's the territory? Ah. Ah, yeah, okay. Right here, what? They're sitting basically in the middle. Yeah, I mean, that was basically split it off everything. Okay. And that was definitely not the communists, I guess, right? There was the Democratic, which are now sitting in Taiwan. Or what is left of them are sitting in Taiwan. Or what, or not left, but where they finally ended up. The Democratic, yeah, okay. The yellow ones here. So they were, okay, the Allies and the communists, I mean, they were definitely not aided by the fascists, right? Democratic dude, yeah. I wonder who is, are you in charge of both? I don't know, I wonder who is in charge of the communist China forces. Because they're fighting each other already, right? Or they still work together, I don't know. Must repass on that history, I don't know. They also seem to be operate here. We will see. I mean, they have also the same color. Seems like they're still working together. They're not hostile to each other. Out of supply. Ooh, okay. So otherwise, who would be in control? Axis forces in control of communist forces doesn't make sense. I mean, could make sense, but yeah. I mean, Germany and the Soviet Union were also in the beginning working together in order to peace Poland and Baltics and whatever. No, they were not really aligned with the Axis, as far as I remember. Yeah, perhaps they already exist as two entities, but they are still working. Or they are not at open war, I don't know. Or perhaps Japan supported one of those factions in order to weaken, I don't know. I'll need to check after the stream. Yeah, exactly. Perhaps because of the invasion of Japan they said, hey dudes, we have a bigger problem. Yeah, could be, yeah, exactly. But there was still always somewhat hostility between them or whatever, I don't know. Because they're also here out of supply, but that's, I guess, rather my bad placement. They're all out of supply. That's interesting. It's like here, Prigozhin and Wagner. Where's our ammunition? Oh, sorry, Priggy. Your ammunition. Oh, Tony, sorry, man. I don't know, man. Where is it? We need fuel. Yeah. Okay. Man, already set up phase 2, but I was, of course, I'm very slow. By the way, you can move that, yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, sure, it's nowadays standard, but there's still so many games where you can't do anything with the UI elements. So annoying. Okay. Yeah, Burma, I mean, there was also Commonwealth forces there. I mean, there was a big battle where the Japanese... I think in Burma there was a lot happening. It was a huge defeat of the British, and then fighting back. I mean, there were a lot of British forces, man, where they got chased, chased by Japanese on bicycles, man. Dudes, man, entire divisions on bicycles were hunting them down. There was, I mean, in the beginning, the Commonwealth forces got re-wrecked by the Japanese. Really brutally. I mean, also the British naval force. They really looked bad. Yeah, exactly, Flying Tigers, yeah. They operate there as well, yeah. Perhaps I play a bit Tigers on the Hunt today. I don't think anyone would want to see that. Rather want to see Stronghold. Nah, man, come on, I will set it up and then Tigers in the Hunt. Man, I get a beer, come on, it's Sunday. And then we play, it's time for Tigers in the Hunt, yeah. Keep promising that, yeah. Doing all those. Let me quickly, I just want to see what happens then, but I mean... At least get a setup idea and everything, but there's a ton of rules, yeah, which I have no clue, man. I need to watch those YouTube videos, perhaps I will get a better grasp, because reading the 700 page manual. Yeah, I'm also, sorry man, I'm also a TikToker, yeah, I can't handle my manuals, big manuals anymore. I need to learn it by doing, by watching, by sniffing, yeah. By touching. You know, like those kids, yeah, work with all channels of sense. Yeah. It's all those times, man. But back in the days, man, when I was a kid, I loved beautiful manuals, man. I remember the Operation Flashpoint manual had a section with all those tanks and everything. Man, I always read that. M1A1 Abrams. Wow, man, there's a tank here. Cobra Hilo. Brenneweier Maschina Picotta. BMP. Even at the Russian translation, or? Yeah, especially those older games before my age, where they, I mean, it was before my times, but where they sell those big boxes. Man, and they were really heavy. As a kid, you already, man, you had first to go and go into the gym and to even... That was back in the days. I watched sometimes those classic videos where people review those video games, like, what did you mention? Wizardry? This one RPG series. There's one guy who gives a good story about every of those games. And they included big manuals. Then there was even a map made out of fabric. Nowadays that would cost $300. Back in the days it was normal video game price, yeah. And they even emailed you a patch when something was wrong. Sent by, I mean, post office or to the stores so you could pick it up. Yeah, the Silas Campaign Barbarossa also has a cool manual, yeah. But some of those old games, I mean, they even had those big manuals in the big format. And those boxes, when you bought this box, it was really heavy. You could tell there's content in that box, yeah. And it was not that more expensive than... No, I mean... Yeah, I mean, nowadays you get all those games thrown at you, sure, yeah, but I mean, most is trash anyways. Well, I wonder if, I think back in the days you probably enjoyed a game more than nowadays. Yeah, War in the East too, man. That's probably one of the last games that really got a really cool manual, yeah. Yeah, I checked it out. It was... the hard copy, hardcover especially, yeah, which you could specifically order. Yeah, that was probably one of the last ones. Yeah, that was really this old school stuff. But even normal games back in the days, yeah, because there was no internet. I mean, yeah, you don't need those menus, and of course, save them money. But it also shows you back in the days you could make money while offering you all of this. Yeah, like in this Wizardry, you got a fabric map, man. Nowadays, a fabric map game would maybe went 50% up in price. And they still made money and lived off that, and they didn't sell 5 million copies, yeah? Oh, so somehow it worked out. Okay, but I know we need to be fast, because otherwise before I lose my... Because now I'm committed, yeah, we need to play War on the Tigers. Because before, man, otherwise now I called it, yeah. All in. Once you say all in, you can't go back, yeah. Jimmy. Just finished the setup. One country left, I think. Nah, Germany is also not done right. Ah, that is only the allies. Nah, Italy was also already deployed, yeah. Japan. No, I can't remember. Shit, man, that is it. What is that, France? Yeah, okay, that's not really... The preset is not working. Probably too old or whatever. Or special rules, I don't know. Perhaps they changed the rules because some of those presets are old as 2004 or 2008. Seems like that game is already existing quite for a time. Yeah, I will come back to it. I mean, I was simply not aware that the AI is not done. Otherwise, we would already play Barbarossa or something. Trying to figure it out. Because Barbarossa is basically some good introduction scenario, not much naval. Because the naval stuff is very complicated, I heard. This convoy stuff. Because I saw people running already those Excel lists. Which gives me PTSD because it reminds me of War in the Pacific, where dudes also running those, you know, there was this companion for War in the Pacific. Companion app where you could, I don't know, keep track of your 600 convoys and your 5,000 factories and your 10,000 pilots. Yeah, War in the... I think also Gary Grigsby changed after that. He went into that basement. He came after a couple of years out, and suddenly he was a silent man, being more for himself. I think he stared too long into the dark abyss of wargaming. Man, that game, I don't know, man, how he pulled that off. But I think there was an interview with him, and they asked him. And that interview rather sounded... But you also have sometimes with those masterworks, I think Metal Gear Solid was the same for Hideo Kojima, the first one. Final Fantasy VII, when they sometimes interview those masters, or also movie of masterpieces, and those dudes, yeah, that was indeed, yeah, that was work, yeah. Yeah, it turned out great, man, that was such a big success, yeah, it was, yeah, Would you do it again? No, absolutely not, never, no. And I think Gary Grigsby also, they asked him something and he said, no, I would never again do it. Never again. Never. It will never happen again. You will never see from me War in the Pacific. So it's something, man, that dude really broke somewhere on the way. But if you see it, if you check the complexity of that game, it's not normal. I mean, it's crazy, man. That dude really, I think, went into Nietzsche mode. Geistige Umnachtung, man. Dude went into Nietzsche mode. Yeah. Man, he almost wargame developed himself into madness. Pretty sure. Yeah, Hideo Kojima. Yeah, he was saved by that English translator, I think, rather. Probably dude wanted to make some game about anime mech warriors, man. Yeah, but the first game is crazy compared to where is now. Metal Gear Solid. I mean, we played it on stream. It's simply baffling. What is it? Oh man, I now scrolled completely away. Yeah, okay, come on, let's save. Let's play Tiger Sonata. Come on. I mean, it's so, and then we can continue talking. You at least get an idea, yeah. But we of course need to have an idea. If somebody is here or watches this and you know anything about that game, perhaps you even own it, we can sit together on Discord or something, or... So I'm not really interested also in Solitaire, but unfortunately AI is currently closed beta, and also those dudes run an NDA, which means I couldn't stream it anyways. I was thinking they already released it for open beta, because open beta I didn't read that much, you know, TikTok, yeah, and there was... most changes are for the AI. I was thinking that nice. Because I'm waiting for years that they release AI. But unfortunately, it is only for the closed beta group. At least if I'm not taken wrong. But let me quickly check out the smaller scenario. I mean, at least I work with some interactive tutorials. It's cool because it's, just reading... Holy moly, man, there's here some matrix going on. Well, perhaps I will play the tutorials. First info. 20 pages of abbreviations. Okay. Yeah. Roger. Yeah. Let's go. Do they have naval convoys? Yeah, that's quite. This I think the most expensive one on the entire store. That is a price, yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's say Barbarossa. Is internet working? Seems like it. Ah, that is what is that? Internet says play by email. Probably. Check out of optional rules, man, this entire game on its own. Yeah, divisions instead of corps and armies. Could imagine there was for the main game some division upgrade or expansion pack, so you could make it even more complex. There was a ton of expansion packs for that. This is why I think the deluxe edition or whatever, the super Grand Prix edition costs quite some, because it is also a huge box with a ton of content. What is... ah, yeah. So there's only the Eastern Front with nothing else, yeah. Oh, that's okay. Basically here... decisive campaigns. Scale, let's say. Ah. Good, I'm back in a couple of minutes and then we play Tiger Sonata finally again, yeah. It's time. Yeah, and check this out, yeah, again, single player is still not available. We'll update you once it happens. Be right back.